All right, last few problems we need to work through here. First one here, we want to get absolute value by itself before we can set up the two inequalities. So I'm going to subtract. I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides. That gives me absolute value of n greater than 11. I'm sorry, 9. Math is hard, guys. Math is really hard. That gives us 9. And so now we can go n is greater than 9. N is now less than negative 9. Flip and negate. Flip and make it negative. Greater. So we're going to be less than negative 9 and bigger than 9. Again, these are all the numbers that'll make it true. So if we chose, say, negative 9, or I'm sorry, negative 10, the absolute value of negative 10 is 10. 10 plus 8 is going to be bigger than 17. It's going to make that inequality true. Next one here, we're going to undo subtraction with addition. So we're going to add 5 to both sides of the inequality. That gives us absolute value of x. 5 minus 5 is 0, greater than or equal to 2. So that gives us x is greater than or equal to 2. X is less than or equal to negative 2. At this point, it was greater than, and so we're going to use or, greater. We want to be bigger than or equal to 2, shade it in, go to the right. Less than or equal to negative 2, shade it in, go to the left. Next one. Got to get the absolute value by itself, so we're going to subtract 2 on both sides. That gives us r over 5 absolute value less than 1. Now we can make two inequalities since the absolute value is by itself. So that gives us r over 5 less than 1. R over 5 greater than negative 1. Flip it, make it negative. Flip it, make it negative. Less than is less than. So we're going to use and in between. We're going to undo this division with multiplication on both sides. That gives us r is less than 5. And same thing over here. We're going to undo division with multiplication again. R is greater than negative 5. The big thing here is that you're not setting up two inequalities right away. Absolute value has got to be by itself. So if you tried to use 3 and negative 3 off the bat, you're not going to get the right answer because you have to wait until the absolute value is by itself. So we want to be less than 5 and bigger than negative 5 at the same time. So all the things that are bigger than 5 or less than 5 and bigger than negative 5, we're good to go there. Power surge in my condo here. Hopefully my internet's not going to go out. Seems to be okay right now. Just a couple more to talk through. We got negative 4 plus 6 plus x. Negative 4 plus the absolute value of 6 plus x. And I believe it was greater than 0. Okay. The absolute value has got to be by itself. So we're going to undo this minus 4 with the plus 4. Undo the negative 4 with a plus 4 so that we can get 0 there. That gives us absolute value of 6 plus x greater than 4. Now you can set up two inequalities because your absolute value is by itself. 6 plus x greater than 4. 6 plus x less than negative 4. Flip it, make it negative. To undo addition, we're going to subtract 6 on both sides. That gives us x greater than negative 2 and x less than negative 10. It started out over here as greater than, so we're going to go with or. Once the absolute value was by itself, we got a greater than sign. So that's where we get our or from. We want to be bigger than negative 2 or less than negative 10. Two more. We can do it. Put a little power to it. We've got 9 times the absolute value, -4 minus 8k, less than 36. We're going to undo multiplication with division. That's 9 times the absolute value symbol. We got to divide by 9 on both sides first to get the absolute value by itself. It's absolutely necessary you get the absolute value by itself first. So we got -4 minus 8k less than or equal to 9 times 4 is 36. Now we can do two inequalities. -4 minus 8k less than or equal to 4. -4 minus 8k greater than or equal to -4. Flip it, make it negative for your second inequality. Over here it's less than or equal to, which is going to give us an and. Add 4 to both sides, then divide by -8. What happens when you divide by a negative? Inequality's got to change direction. Same thing over here. We're going to add 4 to both sides. -8k greater than or equal to 0. You're still dividing by -8. A lot of people like to try and say no solution because they freak out because there's a 0 there. We can do 0 divided by -8, no problem. We've got, oh, this is supposed to be k, not x. So we got k less than or equal to 0. Inequality's changed over there too because the dividing by a negative. We divided by -8, so we're going to flip that inequality. This was an and, so we're going to be less than or equal to 0. We're also going to be bigger or equal to -1, so you got a really limited range that's going to give that inequality a true statement. Last one. Undo multiplication with division, so we're going to divide by 10 on both sides. It's going to give us absolute value of 3x plus 9. It's going to be greater than or equal to 30. I'm sorry, 3. 30 divided by 10 gives us 3. Now absolute values by itself. Now you can make two inequalities. You cannot make two inequalities unless the absolute value is by itself. If we look back up the top there, you had 10 times 3x plus 9, so I divided by 10 on both sides of the inequality, so that the absolute value is by itself. Absolutely essential you do that. So you've got 3x plus 9 greater than or equal to 3, 3x plus 9 less than or equal to -3. Subtract 9 on both sides, 3x greater than or equal to -6, divide by 3. X is greater than or equal to -2, and that was greater, so we're going to use or. Subtract 9, 3x less than or equal to -12, divide by 3. X is less than or equal to -4. So we either need to be less than or equal to -4 or bigger or equal to -2. And there you have it. The inequality didn't change here when we divided by 3 because we didn't divide by a negative. There were negative numbers there. We didn't divide by a negative. I hope these videos help somebody out there get a good grade on their quiz tomorrow. Have a great night. Make good decisions.